Welcome back to the High Speed Garage. Thank you to Contrast Printing and Riverstone Radiators for keeping this garage open. How's going, boys?
Bloody good.
Busy.
Yeah, same.
Busy. Flat out.
I passed myself going backwards the other day.
Going the other way. Yeah, I had a big weekend. Friday and Saturday night, I was down at Jason's place, as I was saying last week, getting the boat set up. Got the thing fired Saturday night. Freaking loved it. It looks bloody awesome. They're not sharing any photos or anything because wants to wait for it to all look smick, and they've done a lot of years to get it to this point, so they deserve to share it in their own light how they want it to be. Obviously working on Jason's boat over the weekend gave me a bit more of a kick up the arse, and I did some more work on the air engine as well, and it's just everything's starting to happen. I'm loving it.
So you're ready to go now?
Yeah, ready to fire up this afternoon.
That's why you're here late.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly why I was here late.
No, I didn't get up to too much. I went to Brownie's funeral on Friday, and then after all that, we went to the pub and had dinner with a few friends, watched the footy. We got knocked out.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, you did.
Out week one, only one out. That sucks. But anyway.
Talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, and then Saturday I just did some work around home, bugger all really. Getting myself ready for... Actually, I ordered some parts for me bike. Going to get the KTM back out. Go for a little hoon next weekend, seems as though Dargle's not being run. But we'll get into that later. We'll do a little preview of our weekend that's going to be.
The weekend that was supposed to be a race meeting, but isn't.
Yeah. It'll be good. Just chill it out there, I reckon.
Caught off because the weather was meant to be bad, but it hasn't been bad yet.
I reckon it's going to be a fucking pearler of a weekend.
You know
anyways, we'll talk about it after.
You know what? There's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you could look at it that way too.
That's a good point, isn't it?
No such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing.
Yeah. Yeah, my weekend was... I took my bike for a ride, took Harley up to Dad's. Had impromptu lunch at Trinity, which is always fucking amazing.
What's that?
I haven't been
Restaurant
there yet.
on the lake down near Morisset.
Oh, yeah.
So you go Morisset, you turn in and head out towards the headland.
I've seen it's the photos and stuff. I'm keen to go. But
it's not fine dining, but it's all but fine dining.
It's flash.
Yeah, it's a bit expensive. Like, I think the cheapest steak there is like $80, but then it goes from there to $400.
When you go to places like that, you're paying a bit for the venue as well.
Like lot of staff.
Where you're actually sitting and enjoying your food.
Sitting on the lake. Good.
Yeah. It's like going to a restaurant in like Sydney Harbour and shit.
Yeah.
You pay extra at those restaurants just for the simple fact of where you're actually sitting.
Yeah.
What you get to look at while you're eating your lunch or dinner or whatever.
Yeah. It's amazing. We go there a fair bit with Dad for like birthdays or something. Take the cruiser in and whatnot, and we generally share a tomahawk. That's about...
Horrible.
I don't know, they're nearly 2 kilos.
It sounds horrible.
I'd eat that to myself.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So then ended up at Dad's and a few beers there and whatnot, and then come home. But while I was at Dad's, we had a phone call. My Uncle Paul died. So that was a bit fucking disappointing.
Yeah, it's a bit
shit. It was out of the blue.
It
Heart
kicks in
attack
the
or
arse
something.
when that happens, eh?
Yeah, Dad's still pretty broken, but yeah. But I was just going to tell some stories. You would know, man, but Michael does, about him in the chopper at Dargle when they used to do the chopper rides.
Yeah.
This is, when would that been? Like,
oh, we were young.
Early, yeah, it would have been
early teens.
Late teens. I think we drove there.
Did we? Well, we weren't. We couldn't drink. We definitely weren't drinking.
Yeah, right. So we might have been 16 then.
Yeah,
16, 17.
Well, you can't rule the drinking out at that age.
Oh, wow.
I remember.
They were fucking blind.
The best one I remember, so Paul's like a local to Bullaroo, and, lots of people say, he's one of those people that hasn't left Bullaroo. He's never been outside of Bullaroo. So one time we've conned him to come to Dargle, and he's brung your cousin Ryan, anyway, they've rocked up and Paul's got this new RAV4. There's like brand.
It was
brand
pretty
new.
new.
It was only like a couple of months old. He'd only just got it. Anyway, he brung no chairs, no camping chairs or nothing to sit on over the bank. So he's borrowed some tools out of the old man's toolbox, gone and unbolted the seats out of his car and gone and sat them on the bank to watch the race.
They sat on the bank all weekend.
That would have been the perfect sponsorship. That would have been awesome.
Oh, the funniest part was the car was literally like only a few months old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just ripped the back seats out.
The helicopter one's one of the good ones. Where they've gone for the helicopter ride. So him and Ryan.
Remember when they used to have the helicopter rides?
I do remember a lot of that.
So
Never jumped in one, but down to Dargle, I never jumped in one. But
was it just him and Ryan?
No, I think Lee was there too. Was he?
Was Lee go that year?
Yeah, I think Lee was there as well.
So, anyways, they've gone into the helicopter.
They were-
And old mate's gone out the pilot. He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I've been to war." He goes, "Oh really? What one? Yeah, we war, merry war."
He crawled over
Did
to it
army rolls.
like he was in fucking MASH, doing little rolls and shit.
It's fucking hilarious. And he goes,
And then
"Oh, right, where do you want to go? You want to fly up over the
a bit of
river
a
and
tour up the river and show him a bit of shit?" He goes, "No, I just want to
fucking hover straight over the camp."
I want to flatten that fucking tent. That's all I want to do."
I think he was trying to flatten Dad's tent. That's fucking hilarious.
He's a
And
funny.
then he's trying to push Ryan out of the window.
oh shit!
He's good value. He'd get on with anyone too.
Yeah. He'd help you out. He'd give you shit off his back.
He could talk underwater, a mouthful of marbles, and get along with like any age group too, like young kids and that. Like remember like when Brad was really little, he used to get along with Brad really good.
Yeah.
Brad used to think he was funny ass.
Sounds like
I remember we talked the girls into spinning his tent around.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's in a little dome tent.
So it looks the same from all sides.
And he knew where the door was. He knew he had to walk up the road or wherever he was walking, and that's where the door was. There's fucking no door there.
clobbered the wall.
Blind as blind. Just flattened the tent.
Yeah, he fell onto the tent. And didn't one of the poles
snapped and smacked him in the eye. He had a bloodshot eye. He just slept on his tent. I think he pissed himself.
Oh no!
I think he was there. Was he there the year it flooded too?
Yeah, I wasn't there that year, but I think he
not
was.
when it flooded. It was the hailstorm.
big
Do you remember
storm.
the big hailstorm that was there?
No, I don't.
It was a massive hailstorm. And anyway, Joel's old man's tent got fucking flattened from all the shit. And it was just like it had like there was that much rain that fell. There was like rivers on the ground flowing back to the river, and his dad's tent's like under one of these little fucking rivers, getting river flow straight over the whole lot. And then as they're packing up, Paul comes up to him with a little dustpan and brush. He goes, "Do you want to borrow this for your tent?"
Oh, he's a fucking character.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other. That was one of the years was when they got. That was when they. Oh, that's when Desperado broke the gudgeon pin out the Welsh plug.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was the Friday.
Yeah.
And then they ended up just
Yeah, that was wiped off the weekend.
drunk that
Just
much
to
fucking
forget
beer. It wasn't funny. And then they were on the way home and stopping at when they stopped Penadill's
Penadill's
pub.
Hotel, yeah.
And my cousin Ryan, he was buckled, like just couldn't. I just didn't want to know about life. And he's like, "Don't worry, we're just going in for one
10, 15,
one
20.
shout." And there was 10 of them.
Of 10 people.
Back in the day when you could get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst when you're keen to go home and all of a sudden it turns into a big night and you're just like, I just want to go to bed.
I think they waited for the pub to open. That's how early they were. And I don't think they left real early. Late afternoon when they left.
They were playing the golf machine and shit there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. But yeah,
Fucking hell, that's funny.
fucking good value, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Anyways, we'll get into a bit of sport.
Meh, fucking meow.
So we got some big news in the big hitter competition.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm still in.
Big upsets.
Joel's made through round one. Finally.
Still in.
I think this is our fourth
This
go.
is our fourth go.
Joel's finally cracked it past week one. And I'm out because I thought I was doing the sensible thing and betting against Joel. So
and that's what stitched you up.
yeah, so I'm out.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I was really hoping that Bowen was getting out when he swapped to
After he changed it, yeah.
because he bet on the Dragons and then I took him. He's like, "Fuck you," and then
So he changed his tip.
he changed his tip to the Cowboys. I think.
I'm pretty sure that soundboard's got bloody big cheering noise
Yeah.
somewhere.
Somewhere there.
I reckon it needs that. Joel got to pass the pole one. That's good.
In there.
Everyone's still in though, except for me.
Yeah.
That's I was okay to sort of back against you on the off chance that it might happen, only because I knew the missus picked the nice team, so I've still got like one dog in the fight, so to speak.
Yeah, well, you're really just double dipping there, aren't you?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. If she wins, it's my money.
Yeah. Yeah. So, getting a bit of F1.
Yeah, we'll cover the Spanish Grand Prix. That happened on what was that, Monday morning, our time.
Did you watch it?
I watched a
seen
little bit of
highlights?
it. I've sort of tried to catch up. As I said a couple of weeks ago, it's so hard that it's in the middle of Sunday night. Like it's a pain in the ass to try and cover it.
I didn't watch nothing, but I've seen a few highlights and stuff.
So the winners, like the podium, was Piastri, Norris.
That also needs a cheer.
For Piastri getting another one.
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that's bloody awesome.
Wrong that one.
Put that in editing.
We're going to use that when we talk about aliens.
Yeah. No, we should talk about aliens.
Someone sends a question in.
Every
That'll
time
be
I
a whole
hear you
episode.
talking about aliens, I'm like, yeah, I want to have a chat about it, but I know nothing. But
Talk about it some more and your phone will start showing you shit.
yeah, on Bookface and start bringing it up. Leclerc got third in the qualifying. Piastri got it over Norris, Verstappen, and George Russell. But Russell, he was going all right. The car didn't seem to be holding on to its tyres, so they did an extra pit stop in the race over everyone else. I think he was going all right, but he had an incident with Russell. I don't know what the incident was. I should know, but I sort of, as I said, I'm trying to go back on second-hand information. But as he's trying to give the pass back, as Russell's trying to get the spot back, Verstappen sort of just opened up steering mid-corner and just touched wheels with the hall monitor and sent him straight into the freaking kitty litter. It's stuffed Russell's day, but Verstappen's like, oh, we'll do better. I think he's a pretty aggressive driver. I don't think you'd want to be on the wrong side of him.
Yeah, there's aggressive and then there's
Being an
just
arsehole.
stupid.
Yeah,
Like
that was just being an arsehole.
if you're aggressive, as in you come into the corner a little hot, you're trying to chop someone a little short or something like that's aggressive. Opening your steering up to take someone out off the road, that's not being aggressive. That's just being a cock.
I don't know if he did. I reckon Russell pulled in on him a bit more.
Oh, you could see that his steering did move a bit. Like there was.
Well, he got penalty. He got a penalty, and they looked at like the stewards looked at everything. They looked at all the onboard footage, all the telemetry, everything they could possibly look at. They looked at, and they give him a big penalty, like a
good one.
Yeah, he got 3 points.
No, he got 10 points.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I thought he only got 3.
No, 10 points. And I think he's already got one this season. So
Yeah, he said 11. He's definitely sitting at 11.
He gets another.
No, he can't have got 10 because he gets 3 back at the end of the year.
But I think if he gets another penalty, he's actually out of a race.
Can only get 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
it's
he got
like
10.
He's on the edge.
No, because I seen a post today saying he gets 3 back at the end of this month, I think. I'm sure it's 3. Maybe might have been 2, but...
Bring on the next GP.
Well, I did see another post about him that they said maybe he's just trying to get penalties so he can do the 24-hour at Le Mans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be good to see.
Mm.
What's his Nazi name? What's he said? It was one of the Nazi one of the Nazi leaders. He used his name when he did the Nürburgring.
All right,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
France, someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the Nazi leaders. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but pretty rough name. So Nico Hulkenberg, he started on 15th on the grid, raced through to 5th, and I reckon that's pretty good in a shit box. Those Sauber cars aren't real flash, and for him to get that, it's pretty good. Lewis Hamilton in his Ferrari, he came home in 6th. But I think the pretty cool bit, Oscar Piastri obviously extended his lead in the Drivers' Championship. He was within 2 points of Norris, I think he was. But obviously he's extended that past it now. But that's 8 podiums in a row. And that's equals Senna and Hamilton in McLaren cars. So
Yeah, he's doing all right.
That's
I
pretty
reckon
good, eh?
that's pretty bloody cool.
You don't get too many better names than Hamilton and Senna, do you?
Yeah. That was Senna in his prime. I reckon that's awesome. But do you guys see Lance Stroll? He didn't actually enter the race. He he had a wrist injury, but
Fucking hell.
but the problem is
Ranking fucking too much.
That's straight where my head went.
well, the amount of money Lance and his old man's got, surely he wouldn't have to do the job himself, would he?
He might think he's better than the rest of them.
He's the only one that knows how to.
Unfortunately, the way he stepped out of the car, he didn't give a place to the reserve grade driver because Lance had done the qualifying and wasn't able to enter the race.
Yeah, right.
So that meant that the reserve driver couldn't actually run.
Because he didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I reckon that's pretty grubby.
Fuck, you'd nearly sack a
accidental.
fucker.
Well, his old man's the one that owns the team, though. Don't
Fuck,
forget.
I'd still sack him.
Yeah, well, he hasn't obviously been smacked ever in his life, so I don't think he's going to get fucking sacked.
Yeah, I suppose.
So it was pretty disappointing to see that sort of shit happen. Whether it was on purpose or not, like you'd think it was pretty shit. But it would have been good to see someone else drive that car and
Do better.
Maybe do better. I'll step over into IndyCar. They raced over in Detroit, like a week turnaround from the biggest IndyCar circle race in the world. Then jump into the tight streets in Detroit. I reckon that's a big big
It's a
change of
street
scene.
circuit,
Yeah,
isn't it?
real tight street scene, street track. Colton Herter puts it on pole. Kyle Kirkwood in the race. He led the field to get his second win of the season. And he's actually the only other driver to win this year apart from Alex Palou. So
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
it's actually it's a pretty competitive series, the IndyCar. But this year, Palou's just been that dominant. Kyle's the only one that sort of stepped out of line. There's been other people that have been sort of there and thereabouts, but it's all on the win. And yeah, Palou and Kirkwood's the only two. So Palou was up the front, not winning, but he was I think he was in the podium, and he was having a race with David Malukas. They come together in I think it was 28 laps remaining. Pushed Palou into the wall, and I don't think he canoed it, but he fairly hit the wall fairly hard. He was done for the weekend, which is pretty shit. But Palou's still he had that much of a lead in this championship that he's still out front.
Yeah, yeah.
So it sort of brings the field back to him, and that's realistically the safe part of where he is. Like he's that far in front, he can have a big fuck up and still keep in front.
He can risk things a bit more too.
Oh yeah, well that street track that's risky as hell. Like they're bloody tight corners.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the McLaren drivers. He said that every corner he's in first gear. That's fucking slow.
Yeah, okay.
Big revs and massive acceleration coming out of the corners in first, but yeah, it's not what you want to be like. That's not a nice flowing corner, is it?
Well, you wouldn't think so.
Scotty Mack had a stack with Nolan Siegel. It was pretty early in the race. He's come up behind him with a fair bit of pace and smashed the wheel. Front right of Scotty's car, hit the back left of Nolan Siegel and just punted him mid-straight, spun around. Tony Kanan's had a fucking blow up over Twitter or whatever it was, and just making a peanut of themselves. It's,
as they do.
yeah. Well, look, when they're down, they're getting kicked.
I should put the standings up. And O'Ward,
Pato Award
yeah, he's 90 points down
from Palo.
from Palo. So Palo's 311 and Pato's 221.
Shit, that's still a decent lead, isn't it?
I don't know. I'll have another look, but yeah. And McLaughlin's down in 8th
Yeah, he's
on 164. But then saying that, Herter, he's in 9th on 157.
Colton's had a couple of bins this year as well, unfortunately.
So that's out for 7 races.
Yeah.
Palo's had 5 wins.
Palo's had 5 wins, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this isn't updated either because Herter hasn't had a win yet.
No, he hasn't won.
No,
No.
he
On
didn't
the
have a
stand. On the stand. I thought you said he won.
win. No, Kyle Kirkwood won.
Oh.
No, Herder put it on pole.
Oh, yeah, righto. Okay.
That's the Gamebridge Honda.
Yeah, so he's had 2 wins.
But I was going to talk about Herder a bit later on in the race. Him, Will Power, and Santino Ferrucci were racing for the backside of the podium. Herder was passing Power late. Power was struggling on tyres. He was leading off the last restart. He was in second, chasing Kyle Kirkwood, but unfortunately the tyres just weren't. They took too long to come up to temperature. So Nolan Siegel got past him. Then Colton Herder got past him.
Couldn't get it back.
Couldn't get it back. Like he was sort of chasing pretty hard at the end. He was right up Herder's ass, but he just couldn't get the pass done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the end of the race, Santino Ferrucci's he's a pretty young driver, and that was his best finish. But unfortunately, at the end of the race, he got done for being underweight, so he got sent back, and Power still got the podium. Look, that's not how you want a podium, but yeah.
Well, if he cheated, he cheated.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. Like they're really kicking down on the.
Why do so many people get done with stuff like that in IndyCar?
A lot of get done in NASCAR and F1 as well. I think it's just that doesn't get talked about.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about things, you notice it more.
Yeah, I suppose.
And especially in IndyCar.
I assumed in NASCAR it would, but
NASCAR's getting flogged. Like they're really hard on it.
That's just American, isn't it?
I think that's what American racing's all about: pushing the limits as far as you can push them.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, when you get done, you get done. But yeah, I think because a lot more things are in the media now, especially with Penske getting done for bad shit. It's
so they should be.
More. Oh, I completely agree.
Especially if you're only pinning the top teams or advertising pinning the top teams.
Yeah. So it's good to see everyone else.
Well, there's no real need to pin a lower team if they are cheating and they're not winning. They're obviously cheating shit.
I've always thought that.
Cheat better.
Yeah, cheat better, and then when you get done at the top, that's when you get done.
Yeah. That's when people whinge the most. How the fuck is he winning? Oh, I'm cheating.
Yeah.
How is he winning?
I love those
He's got to be
comments.
cheating because I'm cheating and I'm not winning.
I love those comments from the NASCARs in the 70s and 80s. The boys are like, I know he's cheating.
Yeah.
I can't beat him and I'm cheating. So I was disappointed to see Santino getting done.
Do you want to hear about the point system?
Send it.
So first place is 50 points, then second's 40, and then third's 35. So you drop them 5 points.
That's a good system. I like when systems like that. You got a big buffer if you win a race.
Yeah, but then you drop...
And then it's close from second to third to fourth.
Yeah, and then fourth is 32, so you're losing 2. And then from 5th to 10th, it's 2 points difference.
Yeah.
And then it's 1 point different the rest of the way until you get to 16th. And then it's 5 points the rest of the way.
Oh, yeah.
I like F1 how if you're
Not in the
out
top
of the
10.
top 10, you're not getting points at all.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you work hard to get into that 10.
Yeah, but they all will. You get 1 point for pole.
I can understand reasoning for not having points all the way down, because some people, well, they probably don't at that level of motorsport, because you got sponsors and stuff that you got to have the car on the track to keep the sponsors. But in a bit of a second tier sort of thing that's not, on the TV and all that sort of stuff, if you're out of the points, you just pull out and save your car and just I'm not going to get to the top 10. I'm in 15th. I'll just stop here. That'll do.
No, I do agree with that.
Yeah,
But it's
I do like the idea of having a big gap in points between first and second, and then a smaller one between second, third, fourth, and all that is a good idea, because it encourages people to win.
yeah,
And you get really rewarded for having a win. What you find if the win is, say, a 10-point gap, and then second to third is a 10-point gap, and then the next one's a 10-point gap, you find the guy that runs fourth all year, that just doesn't crash or doesn't wreck anything, he ends up winning.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't lost anything to the guys that have won. So winning races should give you should get the little bit of advantage to push a little harder and make a mistake or whatever, and still not lose a championship lead.
Yeah, that's the number one thing you want. You want winning.
Yeah.
You want to win.
Yeah. I understand the need for consistency. That's why it's a good idea to have a good spacing system. But yeah, you definitely got to have a big jump between first and second.
They also pay, I think it's per lap. If you're leading, at least one per lap, 1 point.
Yeah.
You get points for leading laps, yeah.
Yeah, and then most lads lap, you get 2 points.
Yep.
So it can, winning the race potentially could be heaps more than 10 points.
I think they get points for fastest lap as well, don't they? Or do they just...
Nah, this all it has is just pole. Pole leading at least one lap is 1 point.
Yeah.
So you might not get more than 1 point if you...
Yeah, so it could only... Yeah.
It could only be one. So you can get 11 points, but if you lead the most points, you can end up with 13. And if you get the pole, you're up 14 points.
Yeah.
Which is a good jump.
So if you have a really good weekend...
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, if you don't get any of those things and you end up winning, like you overcome the odds to beat the guy that poled it and had the fastest lap and all that stuff, you still get a big jump. You still get a 10-point gap.
Yeah, exactly.
Just by beating him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can give you a little... I haven't watched the whole MotoGP yet, but I watched the sprint race, so I can't really comment too much on the actual Grand Prix, but the sprint race was pretty good. The Marquez brothers finished first and second again, although they'll swap this time. Alex
really?
won and Mark couldn't catch him at the end, so yeah.
Right.
Quartararo had it on pole, which is pretty good. Miller was in sixth, started sixth. So I think the Yamahas are finally getting their act together.
Is that with that new engine change?
So I found out they haven't changed the engine yet. They're working on that.
Oh, they're just testing it
for next season, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, but they've obviously done work to this year's bike as well, and it's obviously improving. But you can still tell that the Ducatis have got the pace in the straights. They slipstream you and go, see you later, no dramas, easy as, and then you can't make that back up. So, but the Yamahas definitely did good. Miller didn't do that good. He ended up going backwards from sixth. I think he ended up 8th or 9th or something.
Yeah, right.
In the sprint, but yeah, I think Zarco, the French guy that won the French GP.
Oh yeah,
I think he ended up 4th in the sprint. I can't remember who got third. I think it was Bezzecchi that got third. He was on the Aprilia. So, yeah.
Good bikes then.
Keen to watch the GP and see how that goes. I didn't watch none of the other stuff either. I was going to watch the GP today, but I didn't get around to it. And, yeah, I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
I was going to mention in NASCAR, Shane Van Gisbergen finished in 25th over the weekend. He was in...
so he went backwards from qualifying.
Yeah, well, he was in 23rd. He worked his way to 23rd in stage 1, then 13th by the end of stage 2, but then he just fell back. He ended up just about getting lapped by Blaney, who won.
He qualified
race.
the best he's ever qualified on an oval.
Yeah. Did you see his car? That was the Red Bull car.
Yeah, that's
this
what I thought it was,
week.
yeah.
It looks friggin' horrible.
With 88 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it looks
I
mint.
did see a photo of that today,
Yeah,
actually.
look, I'm not that big of a NASCAR follower, but I am pretty keen on watching Van Gisbergen race. And
There's a couple of Steckies going over too.
I was going to say,
Will
did you see
Brown.
it come out last week? Jack Perkins.
fair bits
Yeah.
going on. There's a lot going for Chicago, but they're not all going to Chicago. I think Perkins is racing a Toyota for, is it Joe Gibbs?
He's doing truck, isn't he?
It's the second tier down. I think it's I don't know.
Xfinity.
Yeah, Xfinity. That's
Yep, he's racing a Toyota. They run a Camry over there, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, in supercars, they're going to be running a Supra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think they just run a freaking Camry and keep it lined up with the bloody NASCAR? Because they're dropping the Supra, as far as I heard.
No
Do they-
idea.
do they
I haven't
still
looked.
make-
I don't know what was
Do
in.
they still make Camrys?
Yeah. Oh,
They're
Nah,
all
probably a
friggin'
fucking hybrid.
hybrids, though.
The Camrys the NASCARs aren't really based on a Camry. It's just a
It's all
model
just a sticker
model
job,
body. Yeah, but they look like an older
It's the name they
shaped
race under.
Camry.
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'm not that big of a NASCAR fan, but keen to see what SVG can do.
Yeah, I think they said what I read the other week. Jack Perkins was going to be the 6th Aussie to go and take on NASCAR.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was supposed to be something like that.
Yeah,
Well, Brock Feeney's doing Xfinity race as well.
Was he?
Yep.
I didn't know he was going over.
No, he's going over, but
I know Will Brown's going.
yeah, it'd be good to see what Will Brown and Brady Kostecki can do.
they're on their way.
Feeney will cry straight away in first corner because someone will pun him.
But I think Will Brown's actually racing in Chicago.
I think.
Yeah, I think both him and Kostecki are.
Oh, Kostecki is actually going to Chicago.
As far as I
as
know,
well.
yeah.
That'll be
I think
sick.
seeing like Gizzy over there, and not doing that well, not knocking what he's actually done, but he's not in the top 3 like every week. It just, I reckon that shows that our V8 supercar drivers aren't going to cut it.
Not on ovals. We're just not that good on ovals.
We're not oval racers.
Yeah, I'm just like, if like he was like well above the rest of them here
Oh yeah,
easily.
he was top dog here.
So I would say he's going to have it over them over there as well.
Hope so.
Well, he did. He smoked him.
It looked fucking.
But I
silly
reckon
if he
they've
went over there and
learnt-
did that.
How he drives.
They
So,
can all
you
see
know,
his driving style.
That's what I mean.
They can watch it.
So the thing is, when he went over there and smoked him last year, whenever it was, in that
It was the year before, yeah.
when they looked at his feet, it was old Cameron with the heel and toe, so they've all started doing it.
Oh yeah,
So they just learn and go.
that
let's
was
do
the
this.
very first race he went into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was also a new track that no one else there had even been to. It was
Like,
a brand new
realistically-
track.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even the Yanks had raced on that
Yeah.
track. So
so it puts you down in. Okay, he's as good as everyone else, but not familiar with all their gear, all the ovals, bump draft, and
yeah,
because he can. If they haven't been there before, he hasn't been there before.
but the driver he is, you think he'd pick their way up of doing it quicker
I would have thought he would.
I
than,
think-
than what any other the guys that go from here over there would.
I think it's the oval stuff with the bump drafting and all that sort of stuff, and no one is obviously helping him. So they've all
Yeah.
got. They don't even have to
They've
be
all got their
teammates; they're just going to be mates, and they help themselves out running around the track.
Yeah.
And I think the bump drafting is the massive thing to get you around the track fast.
Well, that's only more on your bigger tracks, like your Talladega and Daytona, and that they don't do it all that much on the shorter tracks.
I'd like to see what Brody can do now, because he used to do all the oval shit over in America before he came over here to supercars.
yeah, but when he's done it, he has done the NASCAR stuff like a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever it was,
Yeah, he went
and he was
over
still
there and-
nowhere.
No, he had problems. I thought he went all right.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't imagine them doing better than Gizzy is. And if he's, mid-pack at best, they're going to be in the bottom half, aren't they?
Hey, It'll be good to see.
I think they're just
Watch
doing
them.
it for driving experience, probably more than anything.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're probably
Well,
gonna
it all helps, doesn't it? Jumping in anything.
Yeah,
They're
getting your feet
paid
wet.
shitloads to do it.
Well, yeah.
Why wouldn't
No,
Yeah.
I think they've got to pay heaps
you? Oh, yeah, but look at all the sponsors on their cars.
because I remember listening to a podcast with
Shore and Partners.
Boost
Adderton.
Adderton, and he's oh no, it wasn't Adderton. Adderton picked it up anyway, but with Will Brown saying someone fell out with sponsorship, and then Adderton had come on to help him to get over there the first time. Will Brown
really?
went. Yeah, he said I couldn't afford it. No way in the world I can afford it. But he said if I can get so much money paid for, he goes, I should be able to sort the last few $100,000 out.
Yeah. The
So
last
it's
few
fucking
$100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
To
guessing
do
it's
one
$1 million
race.
bucks or something.
Can I just have half of that
Yeah.
few hundred?
Yeah, for the
grand?
next couple of years
Yeah.
to go racing. Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It makes you sort of stand out, like how good Scott McLaughlin is too.
Yeah, he's going.
Like the pack of supercar drivers we have now, Gizzy pretty much smoked all them with ease, no dramas whatsoever. And McLaughlin was pretty much smoking Gizzy. Not as easy as he's smoking everyone else, but pretty much just smoked him the whole time.
We didn't realise how good we had it with Scotty and Van Gisbergen racing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Wingcup,
100%.
Yeah.
Our wing cup sort of fell away towards the end.
but he was still there. It was Wingcup, Van Gisbergen and Scotty realistically.
It probably
Yeah.
shows all the drivers we have here are probably there based more on the dollars they can bring than their actual talent.
Pretty much, yeah.
There was a lot of talent a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Shitloads.
fallen away. Anyways, we've got some clarification on the Graham Bailey race,
Fuck, that's
which was
not
at
like us.
St George.
Clarifying shit.
Yeah,
we get it wrong, we
fucking-
get it wrong. Fucking
all over
you
it.
deal with it.
So the Graham Bailey is fastest time of the day over every class. Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was faster than the unlimited boats.
Yeah, right, running in his own class.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was similar to what I did at Windsor
Yes.
with that Trojan
Yeah.
race.
It would have been, yeah.
So the 105 boats
Yeah.
going around the track at 105,
That's bloody fast.
pretty much.
Yeah, but that goes back to your corner speed.
It's
If you can't get around that corner, you can get beaten.
if you can dial your boat into that
Yeah,
track,
we-
it's so easy to go faster around that track.
At St George.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to take our boat there. I reckon our boat would froth it.
big corners. You can
Just
just
gotta get the thing down there.
I think I remember when I drove Brennan's boat down there in the 5 litre. And you just back off, pedal, turn the corner, accelerate, and it just stand itself back up, back off, and you don't change your foot.
Are you backing off the throttle much?
No, not really. Just to set the boat in the water and turn, and then you get back on it. Sort of stand it back up, turn it back around, go again.
I remember
the
when I
corners
was-
were massive, but
I remember when I was driving the Gen 3 boat, I'd only lift the throttle pedal shit at probably from full wide open to say 3/4, stand on the plate.
be something like that. Yeah.
Mid corner, you're wide open throttle again, and
Yeah.
sort of starting to feed the cav pedal off again. It was the best feeling. You can't do that for shit in a blown boat.
Oh,
but
no.
with the LS behind me, that was awesome fun.
Yeah.
I
Even
reckon
in
that
the
was
6
the most
litre,
hard
the 6
fun
litre,
racing I've had.
that 6 litre is probably an edge where a really good setup boat you can do that. Ones that aren't that good a setup, you got to fluff around the throttle a little bit around the corner. But yeah, but like same thing in the 5 litre. I just lift a little bit, and then once the thing started turning, it's just smash it back to the floor and just let's go.
You only had to get it settled that little bit, and all of a sudden it's going again.
Just get it to start changing direction. The rest of it will take on once the boat's in the water and it's grabbed hold.
Yeah, I remember having a chat to Michael Platts on the ramp down at Taree, and I was saying how I was struggling this while I was learning how to drive the Gen 3 boat, and he was talking to me and Britton, and he sort of said, just try this. Don't worry about what what you think the boat's going to do. Just believe the boat can do it. And I did it, and I was like, holy shit, it goes around on rails. Like, the faster you drive that boat, the better it cornered.
Yeah.
It was the best feeling to actually get on it and go.
Mid corner.
Oh. And being right beside someone else and screaming around those corners, There's a photo of me like up in the air. The front fin and the rudder is out of the water next to another boat through a corner, and it's like just after that it lands and goes, and then I was beating around the corner. So good. That was in a nutcase.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Such good memories. So much better memories in the old boat than the new boat.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get into some questions.
Let's
Couple more listener questions.
Let's get a beer first.
Oh, righto. You want to get a beer?
Then I'm going to take a piss.
I think he wants to do a wee. This episode is brought to you by Riverstone Radiators and Fabrication in Walker Street, South Windsor, specialising in automotive plant and transport cooling solutions. They can repair copper, brass and alloy radiators and intercoolers. Contact the office on 02 9627 4657. Local pickup and delivery service available to trade customers.
And we're back.
Righto. We've got going to listener questions now. We got another one from Daniel Schaefer.
Ooh.
So thanks for that. Keeping them consistent.
Good job.
Here we go.
Yeah, lads, I wanted to talk about the pay-per-view live feed that started to come in with the racing. Just wanted to know your thoughts, if you think it should be pay-per-view, if we should look at putting an amount on, or maybe if we can maybe get some info back off Scotty Lambert about the people that are watching. Is there money that's coming from the pay-per-view going back into the boat races? If you have a look at some of the costs of the pay-per-view, if they had, $50 for a weekend or $40 for a weekend for the viewer, and if 1,000 people viewed, there's a bit of money in that. Does that go back into the entry fees or fuel for the guys travelling? Just wanted to know your thoughts. I made some thoughts on a post there a while back and got jumped on pretty quickly about me thinking it should be free to air, but I'm pretty keen to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, well, I think it all comes down to the quality you're getting.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea of it being free because
I don't think the quality of racing is there
if you make
to watch it all day
or anything like that. You can't get flogged, I guess, for making mistakes in that. But as soon as you ask someone to pay for something, you've got to make sure that what you're putting out is like good quality, or otherwise you can get flogged. Like, we all say you can't bag volunteers and whatever else, which is fine because they're not getting paid. But as soon as you pay someone, well, then they have to take responsibility, and they can be bagged if something's not right or whatever else. I don't mind someone making money out of it. I think that's great. I think you should be able to make money out of it. But I haven't watched too many of the live streams either.
Generally there.
Because I'm usually there. I mean, I've watched a couple, but I never really sort of sit down for the whole day and just sit there and watch it all day. I've normally just wandered around the backyard mowing lawns or whatever, and I just poke my head and go, oh yeah, something's on TV. I'll just walk in and have a look.
I'll tell you what, on that, I think I might take notice of that for lately.
What's that?
Yeah,
the live stream.
Get on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because I think we're going to go to the pub and watch it.
So with the live stream, I could be very wrong, but as far as the information I've got, the live stream that's paid, it covers the cost of the towing the trailer down there, paying for flights and stuff of the people that are doing it.
Yep.
Because obviously you've got people that are standing behind a camera.
Yeah.
They're not actually enjoying the weekend. They're actually filming it, right? So as far as I know, they're not getting paid for doing it, but they're getting paid.
It's not costing them.
Yeah, they're not. And then...
And that's good. That's all, yeah.
And I did hear, this is not from whoever's doing the streaming, but I did hear someone say, I think it was down at Yarrawonga, that whatever it doesn't, the payment back from the live stream revenue doesn't go back to whoever's doing it.
Doesn't get back to the clubs, does
It
it?
goes back to the club as if it's people going through the gate.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay, so it's as if it sort of supports the club.
Yeah, okay.
Like this is not first-hand information, but as far as I've heard it a couple of times, so I'm thinking it might be.
yeah,
Look,
right.
I don't. I'm not going to say
What?
I don't like that, but I think if Scott's the one making all the money, like I'm just going to use Scott as there's a few people doing live streaming. I'm just going to use Scott as an example. If he's the one doing the live streaming, I don't see why he shouldn't just take all the money.
He should get everything.
Yeah, but maybe he's wanting to support the clubs that are.
Well, I think if that's the case, then the club should be paying
For
the
everything.
cost for everyone to get there,
Well,
and then whatever the fee is, they take the fee.
yeah. So I haven't spoken to people that do it because the people that do it obviously spend a lot more time and money on this shit than they actually receive back anyway. But in my idea, on the live stream should be considered the same as watching, say, this is the local market, so obviously I'm going to go this way, but you go supercars, right? Supercars make the program and then sell it to Foxtel and Channel 7.
Yep.
Foxtel and Channel 7 sell, like, by paying for that footage, they then sell the ads on it. So the club should be selling ads that go onto the video,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they make money back from it anyway.
Yeah.
That is if it works that way, and like I said, the club should pay for Scott and the whole team
Yeah.
to turn
It should
up.
be a fee.
Yeah.
It should be a good
Should be
money
10,
making.
10 grand or whatever.
Scott has his price. This is what it costs for me to turn up to your event, and then you can take all the profit from that. So if there's a shitload of people watching, then you take all the profit. But this is what it costs you. Like I say this saying all the time. Yeah, we talk about volunteers and everything else. Do you go to work for free?
No.
Do you go to work for free?
Fuck no.
Who the fuck would go to work for free? So why do we expect someone else to?
Well,
We should be paying Scott and the team, or the club should be paying Scott and the team, and then they rock up. He live streams your event, and then you have a show that you can sell to people that want to watch it, and then you can sell ads on that said show.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay, if the club doesn't want to pay for Scott to turn up, if he's just turning up because he wants to, he should make all the profit.
Yeah, I with that. But then also a lot should go back. Say when people go, oh, it's live stream shit, whatever people want to say. The owners should go back a little bit on the club running the event if the races aren't out there or something's not going on.
If it's the meeting that's being run, then yeah, the club. But some of the ones I've watched, that I've seen, and I couldn't tell you which live streaming one it was or who it was, but I've seen some where the camera doesn't get moved from the start, so the boats are all lined up at the start, and then they go out of picture, and then all of a sudden the camera catches back up, and they're filming
Someone's
things,
watching the race, not watching the camera.
yeah, or they're filming things that aren't there, or it blanks out, or you have a
Glitches.
an internet malfunction or some shit like that. All that's on the onus of that is on the live streamer, the guy doing the live streaming. And
and if you're charging, you're going to cop criticism for
if you're
it.
charging,
You are
you
going to,
you should cop that.
What gets charged? I haven't bought it, so I don't know.
No, I don't
I think
know
it's
either.
the same price as gate fee. I think so.
Yeah,
That
right.
if
So
I
I
can
say $20
remember
a day then.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's saying what was saying $50 is
It's not that
about
expensive.
right.
As far as I'm concerned, like if you're
I
not,
think $50 is a bit expensive
yeah, but you go
for 2
you
days.
you go to an event and fuel to go down there. You're buying drinks on site. Yeah, you're socialising and shit, but you've then got to pay for a gate fee to get the live stream to view the event. All you're doing is paying your gate fee. That's it. You can drink your own beer and stuff like that. So I can see a benefit
I
of
guess
doing
so,
it,
yeah.
Yeah,
but
depends which way you want to look at it. I suppose
Yeah.
most people wouldn't go because they're too busy,
Yeah.
so they're not just.
so
gonna,
you've got the ability to put it on in the worksite radio and have it playing. So
well, yeah.
you can hear it, like as if you're listening to footy. Or
Most
listening to
most
the
ones that we
horse
watch
race.
though, that like what Joel sort of just mentioned, some of the owners should be on the club because it's so boring watching it all day because there's massive gaps between races because they're waiting for someone to fix something or something's going
Something's
on
broken
or
down,
dolphins
and
rock
shit like
up or
that.
something weird. And it's but like you can't just sit there and watch it.
And when you're at the track, it's not that bad because you just go and socialise.
Yeah, you go talk to somebody or go and get yourself a beer or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it's a difficult thing to talk about because I'm friends with the two main people that are doing live streaming over here. Everything that I've said has nothing to do with anything they've told me. The people that I've spoken to isn't them.
Chris
I'm not
Kuznetsov's
talking
live stream
about
is
them.
very good.
Kuznetsov is, but he does.
I've watched that. I that was probably the most recent one I've watched. I reckon I was the Worlds
Yeah, Kuznetsov
last year.
one.
I didn't go to Berry, and my brother-in-law bought the Berry round, and we all ran and sat at his place and watched
Oh,
it.
that's
And that
right.
was-
We did too. Yeah.
That was really good to watch.
Yeah, and he's a full-time footy streamer. I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually.
He just lost that contract.
Yeah, he didn't get
Oh,
that
really?
this year. So
Yeah. I think he's gone back racing.
That's not a horrible thing, is it?
Nah. Yeah, the quality of his stuff is really good, and I couldn't tell you what it was worth because I didn't get it. The brother-in-law did, but I don't think it was all. That's not hundreds of dollars.
No, I think it's about the same price. I reckon. Yeah.
No, I think it was. I think it was about $100 or something. 100 and something bucks for.
I didn't think.
the
Well,
event.
I thought it was 50,
I
but
think
yeah.
it was quite a bit. But I'm not saying that it was a shit event. Like it was a really good stream as well.
Yeah,
They do a lot of interview stuff as well. But he's paying the professionals to do it. So
yeah. So
it's a bit of a different thing.
Well,
but yeah.
that's the same thing.
You should be. Yeah.
If you're paying somebody to do something, you're going to get a better job, aren't you? It's
That's
like
right.
we all sit here and say, oh, you get what you pay for. So if you're not paying much, well, you don't get good quality. But if you pay a fair bit, you get good quality.
I still think we get good quality over here, but there is glitches, and obviously that's going to come with someone that has a full-time job that does this on the side.
Yeah, well, like
And
I said with Chris, he's because he's doing the footy and switching and all that sort of stuff. He knows like how much zoom to put in on certain angles of shots that he's taken and all that sort of stuff. And like all the interviews of running around the pits with like a guy with a camera and a microphone. Well, I think he normally does the microphone, but there's guys everywhere doing like every different angle of it as well. It's not just from one spot.
And one thing that we noticed down at Yarrawonga, how good is it to do an interview? That is the
it's
most
easy.
daunting
It's fucking easy
thing
as.
I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
You watch people do it every day,
Yeah,
and you think, oh, that doesn't look that hard.
Yeah,
Do it
yeah.
yourself. Shit.
I think they need to do more pit interviews or more walking
yeah.
around and chatting to random people
Yeah, no,
rather
I
than
ended
just
up-
sitting there waiting for a race or putting a replay on.
just need a few cans of courage.
Yep.
Well, that too, but yeah.
Oh, but you need the people on the ground too. Like,
Yeah,
he's bringing his own people.
Yeah.
To jump on the cameras.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying. Like, if it's more expensive, it's gonna get more there, but you've got to pay for
But
it.
if that's like, when you look, there are going to be a couple of hundred people watching.
It has to be.
So that
It sh-
bill goes up pretty quick.
it shouldn't be for free because, like I said, someone's there
Gotta pay
working.
for someone's time. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no one should work for free. But the only way it probably could be for free is if the club decides they want to pay Scott to live stream their
Yeah.
event so other people can see their event and they want to hand it out for free.
And they can
It's
get
just
sponsorship.
advertisement.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see a numbers difference, like when Oman asked about
Like
you know,
viewers.
can we see who's viewing it and all that sort of stuff. I'd love to see a difference between a free one and a paid one to see if the number jumps massively.
Yeah. I don't have numbers. It'd be good to hear them.
Yeah,
Good to see. I should have a chat to Scotty and see if he wants to have a chat
Yeah.
about how it works.
Anyways, if someone's out there that watches it regularly that can't get to race meetings like we can, let us know what your opinion is.
yeah. Just send a recording in and just tell us.
Yeah. What you think could make it better.
Yeah.
He's probably got no good feedback like that rather than people just being keyboard warriors.
Being jerks, yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's better than nothing.
I love that he does it.
And in all honesty, I think the live stream is probably better than the TV show that's going on.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that either.
That's gonna be
because
a
it's
bit
on at fucking
controversial,
shit
but-
times too.
I think that TV thing's a bit of a waste of money, but they all seem to like it.
I like seeing my boat on it.
Oh, I'm not saying that, but I think the quality of the show's not that great.
I'd like to see more races. I'd certainly like to see more races.
I only
full
watched.
races.
I think I watched like the first 3 shows, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm over it."
I haven't watched any because
And
they're
I
just
haven't watched any of the other ones.
they're
And
just
they're
on at a shit time.
Yeah,
I just stream them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just go on the 7 Plus app.
yeah.
Type in circuit boat. I think that's how to find it. Type in circuit boat and comes up.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
I enjoy watching it, and I'll be honest with you. I'll go to certain job sites and their lunchroom's got 7 Mate just playing on the telly, and every couple of weeks, someone new in the workshop will come up to me and go, "Oh, I watched you on the race boat the other day." It's like, what do you mean? I've fucking been in it for
yeah, right.
6 months. Oh no, it was a replay on the 7 Mate.
Yeah, right.
Like it exposes the rest of the people.
It's
that
definitely
put
good
it on.
to get
Exposure.
Get
And
some
it's
exposure
probably good
out
for
there,
people
but
that
yeah.
don't
That's
know it or watch it.
That's exactly
or
what I
go
was going
there.
to say. I think
Yeah.
the TV show is to promote more people finding circuit boat racing. It's probably not as much for
you could
us.
you could
but
do
we
that.
need
You could
to
do
watch
that a
it
hell
to
of a
get the
lot
numbers
cheaper,
up.
though. I reckon.
Yeah, you probably could.
I think TV
Social
just costs a
social
lot.
medias and all that sort of stuff. It wouldn't be that hard.
But I think getting on
You
TV
do the same as
costs a lot.
what Mike Smith did with the liquid horsepower.
Yeah,
There's
How
no
did
way
he
that
do
cost
it?
him fucking $6 million like it's costing them.
How did
He just had a contact with Foxtel, and then so he did all the filming and then paid to put it on that way.
what channel was that on?
Foxtel
It was
Sports
Yeah.
One or something. I can't remember. That was a lot of years ago.
It was a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
yeah.
getting a bit on with there anyway.
Yeah, no, I enjoy the telly show, but I'd like to see more racing on it.
Yeah. But yeah, if someone's got an opinion that watches it all the time, let us know, and we can have a bit more of a discussion on it.
Or something.
Happy to pay for live stream, but make it good.
Basically. Now, we'll go into... We had a post in the HSG. Actually, before I do that, we changed the name. I hope you like it.
HSG Pits.
We changed the name to the HSG Pit Crew
Pit Crew. Okay, so we're now the Pit Crew.
because I thought that was better than Pit Stop.
Okay,
So,
I think
yeah.
you were talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was
Another
after
change.
last week's show that I changed it when I was chatting. But yeah, I thought it sounded better because we're all a crew.
Yeah, so everyone, all
Yeah.
of us, get around it. There has been a couple more posts, and everyone that puts something up there will post you on here to push some through. Now, I put one up this week, and that was Ian Irvin's post in Team Phoenix. Now, Ian bought the Gen 3 boat, so we're sort of a reason why he's indoctrinated into this sport that we run. But we were talking a couple of weeks ago about the quad rotor engine in a race boat, and he's posted that it's going into his boat. He's got a 18-foot 6 Evercraft, and he's got a quad rotor, I think it's a twin turbo thing going in.
Yeah, nice.
Tommy Sawyer actually commented on there saying he reckons it's going to have about 1,200 horsepower. So they're pretty light. 1,200 horsepower and something light. I reckon it should be pretty exciting to see.
Well, it's all about power to weight, isn't it?
Then-
Power to weight and keep the whole package as light as possible.
And they're friggin' tiny, those rotors. Those rotary engines,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
tiny, eh?
Yeah. Do they weigh much?
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I know it's a tiny little package, but sometimes tiny things weigh shit loads.
Yeah, well, you can see they're genuine Mazda rotary units, like the actual where the magical Dorito goes. That's Mazda branding, and then you've got billet aluminium in between each segment, and then the sump is this solid piece of aluminium milled out for each section.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's this little tiny sump section that's that for the dry sump unit. Pretty flash looking dry sump pump on there as well. I reckon it's going to be a pretty good bit of gear.
Yeah. Hopefully. Just be keen to see something a little bit different.
Like we saw that rotary over in New Zealand, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But that was in a jet sprint boat doing something different on a jet setup. It's not going to be the same sort of thing is connected to a prop, and I reckon this thing connected to a prop should sound mental, and hopefully it goes like the clappers.
I might change the game a little bit.
I don't think they're cheap.
Oh, God, no. It looks flash.
Is anything we've got cheap?
Nice and shiny. All right, we'll get into meme of the week, yeah?
No more pit crew posts?
No, not this week. Oh, Tommy Butland posted on there a couple of bits of information from Bristol, from a supercar, a sprint car to a NASCAR going around the Bristol track.
Oh,
If
yeah.
anyone's keen on that, jump on the HSG pit crew and have a look at that. Thanks, Tommy, for chucking that up.
All right.
Yeah, right. Well,
Meme of the week.
meme of the week.
You got your one, Joel? Or?
Yeah, I got my one. I'll go first.
Righto.
What is your favorite thing to do or play outside?
Day drink. I love day drinking. I love it. I love day drinking. I don't get out much, but when I do, I love day drinking. You know why?
Why?
You want to know why?
I do want to know why.
Because sometimes it leads to night drinking.
What is
Is that during the day?
Yeah.
He sounds like he's been breakfast drinking.
Also turns into weekend drinking if you do a good enough job. Sounds a lot like Dargle.
And that's what we'll be doing at Dargle. Day drinking.
We didn't get
And
into
we'll
Dargle.
turn into
we
night
didn't, we didn't
drinking.
do our little Dargle preview for the week.
No, we didn't actually. I forgot about that.
What are you guys thinking about doing?
Oh, lots of stuff.
Got some rockets.
Some
So there
the rockets are
should
gonna
be
be
some more
fun.
videos about rockets.
100%
Oh, yeah,
there'll be
that'll be-
videos about
yeah.
rockets. Bit of smoking some meat.
Yeah, cooking some good food.
Um,
And like I said, I've got some parts of me KTM. I'm going to take that out and go for a flog around the motocross track. Anyone else that wants to jump on can take it for a fang too.
probably have a couple of schooners.
I'd say there'd be plenty of them.
No, schooners. Not cans.
Oh, there's a I like the idea of that.
We may have absconded with a keg.
Frosty glasses.
I'm hoping. Oh, yeah. It'll be a good weekend.
The rockets are going to be fun.
if you're hanging out,
How many rockets we got? There's like half a dozen or something.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Lots.
7?
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Model
I think
rockets
that's
are
about 7.
sick.
One thing I hope for is everyone comes back with all their fingers and toes.
Oh, you'll definitely have them.
Yeah.
There'll probably be no rockets left because they'll be lost.
Well, we couldn't buy the right engines for mine, Brennan's and James's. So you got to have a delay stage on the top to pop the parachute out.
So the rocket slows
So the
down.
rocket slow. So when it goes off, it goes, and then no delay means just shoots out the top of the rocket to blow the top off. So it's still going up at Mach 10 when the parachute comes out.
That'll just rip the
The
parachute.
parachute's just gone.
Straight off.
We got to fix the first rocket straight away.
So you need to time the delay. So
Well, the delay, they're meant to buy rockets like C63, so there's a 3-second delay,
yep.
and we got C60s. Because that's all they had.
So the bastards are going off straight away.
Yeah, just for parachutes getting ripped off them, and
Yeah.
I've
We'll have to find
also bought some shit so we can make our own rocket engines.
Can you?
So
can
we're
you
going to
set
attempt
up?
to make our own rocket engines.
Can you set up like what Joel was just talking about with the delay? Can you set that up in those build your own things?
Yeah.
So you could realistically mix up the delay in the.
You just use the same
The
propellant, but
original
you just
parachute.
mix like another powder in there to slow it down so the burn's a bit slower.
there'll be some videos coming up about that.
Hopefully over the weekend.
Yeah, I'll definitely be posting something,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
for sure.
So keep an eye on the pit crew and see what you can find.
They're getting into that day drinking. I don't like day drinking.
Fucking love day drinking.
I
Do you
love it.
like it?
I love it when you're doing stuff and you're running around with a can and you got to do shit. You got to put the can down and make sure no prick pisses on it. Or
I feel
Kicks
very weird when everyone else is and I'm not. I'm like, it's like anxiety. Like, oh, should I just go grab one and my hands are fucking going? I'm
That's
trying
because
to
you drink
find
Jack
something
and
to
not fucking beer.
Yeah, but I just can't do it because even if I drink beer, if I start drinking during the day, I end up full
That's why the
and
mixed drinks are
not
good.
pissed, and then I just can't keep drinking.
The mixed drinks are good because it gives you that little bit of a buzz, but not much, and it's like drinking water. So you're just rehydrating yourself.
Yeah,
and
but I
then
just end up
when
full.
it gets to the end of the night, no, you just keep weeing.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I don't piss enough, obviously.
You don't drink enough. That's your problem.
I'm better off. Well, I do because I'm full. I can't drink anymore.
Doodle's not doing a good enough job. That's what the problem is.
I'm way better off waiting until 4 or 5 o'clock and then just fucking ripping in, and I'll be more maggot than the rest of yous, and still have just as much fun.
I've ripped in more than enough times down at Dargle and made a dick of myself, and I think that's why I slow down drinking now.
Fuck that.
I have made a dick of myself way too many times.
If I started at 9 a.m. like we usually do, and just ripped in, I'd be fucking asleep by lunch.
Yeah, you have a good nap and you come back again.
Fucked.
And we'll all put shit on you and probably put you in the river.
You want to be able to fight.
Oh, Christ, it's going to be cold in the river this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting in the river.
Joel
Doing
will
shit in
find out when we all dump him in there. He doesn't
That's
know.
the problem. That's the
He doesn't
problem.
know it yet, but there's a plan.
That's the problem with FOMO. I don't stop. Everyone's got to be asleep before I go to bed.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out on anything,
Nope.
eh?
All right, hang on. We'll get into yours then, Mick.
I'll play
Oh,
Hayden's first.
Oh, righto.
Ready?
My one's a thinking one.
In the dog world, humans are elves that routinely live to be 500 years old.
Think of it that way. Have a think about that statement.
What?
So you think of dog years.
Yeah.
What's a dog last, say, 15 years?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So you think of a dog's family.
I'd say like 12 would be average.
You think of a dog's family. A dog makes an animal, like it fathers an animal, then fathers another animal, and it keeps going on. But you've still got the same one human running the show. So those dogs would be looking at that human as never dying, because
No,
they're going through their life cycle,
yeah, I see what you mean.
born and dead before this bloke looks any different.
Yeah, right. Fuck, that's
Wouldn't
a bit
that
harder
spin
to
you out
think
as
about.
when you think about how a dog lives?
Yeah.
Looking up at this human and like, holy shit, this dude done die.
Yeah, that. Yeah, now you think about it like that. It's,
Yeah, that got my brain thinking today.
It's fucking way too hard to be thinking that one.
one. Yeah, well, fucking.
I was lost.
Wig my brain out a little bit. All right, I'll play my one. Here's go. This one's good. We can all relate to this one. Well, us three definitely can, especially Joel after last week's video.
A woman noticed her husband was standing on the bathroom scale, sucking in his stomach. Ha! That's not going to help, she said. Sure it does, he said. It's the only way I can see the numbers.
Fat fucks.
Just for clarity, I can still see the numbers. Actually, I can't because I don't stand on scales. Fuck scales. They're overrated. They lie to you anyways.
Yeah,
They're not nice.
You jump on one set, straight off that onto the next set, and it's different.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do a shit scales in. All right, we'll wrap her up. Anyways, if you got any questions, put them at the High Speed Garage Podcast at gmail.com. Follow us on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Join the HSG Pit Crew page now that we've changed it, and hopefully we can get a bit of community happening and a bit of chit chat and whatnot, and a bit of banter throw in there.
Hopefully we can push some more shit this weekend with some videos of rockets and silly shit.
The only trouble is when we get on the piss, we don't have our phones on us half the time.
Yeah, because we don't want to be incriminating.
And
Yeah,
go
well,
flat.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of the times we don't have our phones for one reason.
A lot of the times what goes on at Dargle stays at Dargle.
I'm keen as for these rockets. They're going to be fun as.
Yeah.
We've done rockets like for
Heaps.
a long time.
Yeah.
We talked about rockets a bit earlier in an earlier episode. So we've done rockets since we were kids. So.
We're experts. We're the next Elon Musks. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot for coming.
See yous.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Bye.